began with the standard signs that my son Mike wasn't coping with the loss of Pip. Slipping school grades, withdrawn demeanor, refusing to venture out to play with friends or see the sun. He'd aimlessly mill about the house, with random moments where he would stop and have a wistful, faraway look on him as he sat by the sill and stared out the window at the burial spot in the backyard. He'd promptly sniffle with stifled tears. One night, while sleeping with my husband Dan, we awoke to the sound of faint footsteps, then the click of the back door downstairs unlocking, which unnerved us both. Upon our investigation, we came outside and discovered Mike with eyes closed soundly while nesting in his sleeping bag. It was positioned next to the patch of earth that was Pip's grave. When I gently nudged Mike awake, he begged his father and I not to send him back to his room. He said he felt lonely and missed his sleeping buddy. His father and I exchanged a worried look, but after some huddled deliberation, we hesitantly relented. It was midsummer after all, and the warm nights seldom had a chill to them. We couldn't leave him alone, of course, so his father and I agreed to take turns accompanying him through the nights in our own sleeping bags. After the passing of a couple of weeks, on a Saturday afternoon, I reached Mike's room to check on him since he hadn't emerged from inside the whole day. When I first knocked, I was answered by silence. Then, I smelled faint tendrils of smoke wafting under his door and through the keyhole. I knocked more urgently. This time, he replied, "Leave me alone, Mom." I gulped nervously, then asked him what he was up to inside there, but was once again met by a sullen silence. Then, I heard strange, low whispers emanating from inside the room. I fetched Mike's father from the living room, briskly returning with him. After some time of our patience wearing thin, he cracked down upon Mike's door with a violent kick after it was clear our son wasn't going to let us in. The scene we walked into floored us. Littering Mike's bed were books of the occult, featuring unsavory covers and titles depicting death, witchcraft, rituals, and other macabre topics. And seated beside his bed, back to us and legs folded under him, was Mike. In front of him, a circle of floor marked the wooden floorboards, and chalked inside it was a drawn pentagram. Lit candles were positioned at the intersections. A photograph of Pip was placed at the center, soiled by the blood dripping onto it from the cut flesh of a wounded palm belonging to a small hand that hovered over it. It was Mike's quivering right hand, his left one holding the kitchen knife that he'd used. My little boy was sobbing. "Pip," he gasped. "Pip, is it really you?" Dan and I didn't understand the madness that was unfolding until we crossed the room and stopped dead in our tracks after glancing over Mike's shoulder, seeing the blood-soaked picture. Pip, our faithful golden lab, was panting as he wagged his tail energetically. He opened his mouth and barked, though no sound came through to our side. "It worked," Mike mumbled, hysterical with tears. "Pip, I'm coming." Then Mike touched the picture with a hand, and in that instant, the air was disturbed as his body rippled, then folded in on itself, warping away into non-existence. But he hadn't disappeared. Dan and I crouched over and stared incredulously at the picture bearing a new edition. An animated boy giddily smiled as he petted the dog's head with his bloodied right hand, the dog jumping onto him to give frenzied kisses. The boy gave one final wave at us before he froze in place with the dog as the photo soaked up the last of the fading blood.